And we are live.
We are live. Good evening, everybody. MovieMan Jase here. For the first time on my channel again, I'm back after a long time break. Even though I have done a few other hangouts previously, this is the first one on my channel for a while. And I'm joined by a very special guest, one of my good friends on here, Gary from Bulgaria. Her channel is Gary G Gaming and Gary G Reviews. And this evening, we're going to be discussing our favorite actors and directors, and probably like our favorite movies from those directors and actors. So yeah, very interesting topic, I think. One that will have a lot to discuss, and I'll let Gary introduce herself.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jace. So hi guys, and welcome to this awesome discussion with me and Jace. Like he said, on our favorite actors and directors, we are also going to touch a bit on, TV stuff, because for me, TV is also very, very important, and a lot of actors are in TV. So yeah, that's basically it, the topic for today.
That's right, and as I said, Gary will be probably doing more so the TV than me, because she's more into TV shows than me. I'm not as familiar with a lot of the TV shows, but yeah, with all the movies, as you know, guys, I've got quite a big list here of actors and directors. So,
oh wow,
yeah, different things here. So, I mean, this is not necessarily like a top 10 list, guys, but it sort of is for me in a way. I mean, Gary, I'm not sure how many she's picked out, but for me, I'll probably do it that way, and I won't include all these directors because this will take like too long. But I'll pick maybe my top 5 favorite actors and top 5 directors. So that'll give you an overall basis of what I'm really into. So I guess we'll probably start with the actors first of all off. Do you want to start, Gary, with one of your favorites? Or
okay, so first of all, most likely, actually, the first one is of course Lucy Lawless, which is Xena. Yeah. So Xena, of course, is my favorite actress. Lucy Lawless again. I like to mistake the two, although they have nothing in common, like nothing. But yeah, of course, she is my most favorite actress of all time, and my most favorite actor as a whole. So of course, that is Xena, and after her, probably Renee O'Connor, that played Gabrielle in Xena again. So basically, the whole cast of Xena. First of all. Yeah, and that's the first and most, important one. So, most important list, and after that is Fran Drescher, that is the nanny. If you heard of her,
yeah. I did used to watch those back in the day, in the 90s.
Oh, I used to watch it like in 2000s because the nanny came a lot later here. So for me, it's like more new. And then, of course, John Cena, and those are like the top 4.
Okay, interesting. Nice list. I knew it would be John Cena because that's one of your favorite actors, and I knew Xena would pop up as well. So, yeah, perhaps no surprise, but yeah, as I said, I know you well, but some of the viewers might not, so that's cool. John Cena, do you have any favorite movies of his?
Yeah, The Marine, 12 Rounds. And not that he made, a lot of movies. He basically made not so many movies because he's so busy with, WWE yet still. So, but he is now in that Amy Schumer movie, the newer one, the newer comedy. I forgot the name. Trainwreck. Yeah, Trainwreck. And in that Amy Poehler was the name, I think, and I forgot the other actress, comedy Sisters. He is also in that. And he's awesome.
Cool.
So he is a guy that has a lot of, potential to be an awesome actor. So, yeah, hopefully he will be in more movies when he finally gives up WWE and breaking his body all the time.
Yeah, I guess a lot of guys gone down that route. I mean, The Rock was another example. He used to do a lot of wrestling, then got more into acting. A lot of those guys have done that. I guess they're always into the action movies mainly, but yeah, he said he was just in a comedy, so I guess he's trying to branch out a little bit, which is good.
Yeah, 2 comedies. Yeah.
2 comedies, so that's cool. Yeah, as I said, I've seen 12 Rounds, and I saw the other one you just mentioned earlier, those action ones, and you know, they're good, fun, entertaining films. You know, they're not the best made films, and John Cena, well, in my opinion, is like not the best like actor. Like he's good,
Yeah.
he's got a good presence on the screen. You know what I mean? He's like a good action star, but he's not like Oscar-winning stuff. But he's still good. You know, he's a bit like Arnie in some ways, just fun and sort of cheesy, but strong. Like, you know, he's a tough guy that you know he's gonna kick ass, and a bit of a badass as well, I guess you could say. So
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, definitely.
in those particular movies. And just a quick note, if the quick Q&A app is working, feel free to leave questions. I think if you are one of my people in my circles, I think you're allowed you can write questions in there. So feel free to do so, because I think a few might be watching, so that's cool. So is that your list, Gero? Is there any other actors you can think of, or actresses?
Oh, yeah. Just let me check what I wrote. Yeah, of course, The Rock.
The Rock.
Yeah, Sofia Vergara, Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, Zoe Saldana, Henry Cavill, and Amy Adams.
Wow, nice list. I mean, I did enjoy The Rock in the Mummy Returns and Scorpion King. You know, when he played the Scorpion King, I did enjoy those ones. I haven't seen The Rock in too many movies. Again, he's in a lot of those action movies. Welcome to the Jungle was one. Walking Tall was another one that I found. I think I'm pretty sure I saw that one, and that was pretty entertaining. But yeah, Amy Adams is a very likable actress as well. You know, she was in obviously The Man of Steel as the love interest, and she was also in a really good film, Her, with Joaquin Phoenix. I really enjoyed her in that. She was again the sort of, you know, just a very likable character. She's been in a lot of other good films. The Fighter was another one that I really enjoyed her in. And yeah, I agree with that one. It's one of the up and coming actresses, I think, of the last probably decade. I'd say she's really come up in leaps and bounds. And the other one you said was Chris Evans. Who's he again? He's from one of the
Captain America.
Captain America. There you go. See, I don't know all these superhero stuff, but I always get confused between him and Chris Pine, and yeah, it's all confusing. But yeah, I mean, obviously he's good as the role as Captain America. I really enjoyed Winter Soldier, and I'm sure Civil War is going to be really good as well. So no, it's a really cool list. I guess is that it for you, or do you have any more? Or
I always have more, but I just can't think of any more right now.
Well,
but you know, Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, Robert Downey Jr. Yeah.
And the other Chris from Guardians of the Galaxy, Chris.
Yeah.
Chris what? I forgot his name.
I cannot remember. I'm not good with those particular movies because I have only seen them maybe once, so I'm not entirely sure that one.
Oh yeah, and Anna Faris, that is, you know, comedic actress from Scary Movie. She has a new TV show, Mom, and she is also the wife of that Chris that I can, you know, remember his name. I'm going to check right now. What the hell was his name? Guardians.
And then I'll kick on with my list because I got quite a few here.
Oh yeah, I know.
Mine's going to take a little bit longer, but that's fine. Whoever is watching, yeah, let me know your favorite actors and your favorite movie of that actor, if you can. Comment.
Chris Pratt. Yeah.
Chris Pratt. Okay. Chris Pratt's the guy who was in Jurassic World, wasn't he? That's the guy in Jurassic World, and there was some talk he was going to be Indiana Jones, but I don't think that's happening anymore. But no, that's a good list. Well, you know what? We'll start off with mine because I've got a fair bit here. I guess I'll probably do I'll do top 10 and a couple of honorable mentions. So I guess starting at number 10 is Tommy Lee Jones. Yeah, I really enjoyed Tommy Lee Jones. Specifically, my favorite movie of his was Missing, which is like a psychological Western drama. Yeah, just a really likable character, a strong character. And I don't know what it is. I've always grown up a lot with Tommy Lee Jones's movies. He was really good in The Fugitive as well as the U.S. Marshal. I really enjoyed him in that. I know he was a bit silly as Two-Face in Batman Forever, but still fun, you know, still fun. And there's been a lot of other good movies. Lincoln was another one he was in. And he's been in a lot of different, not just action movies, but lately a lot of westerns he's actually been directing now. He actually, I've got it right here actually, I watched this fairly recently, The Homesman, which he actually directed and starred in, which was a good film. It's a western drama, which I really found entertaining. But yeah, he just acted that's been acting for a long time and just likable in all his roles. So that's why he's number 10.
Oh yeah, he's also in Men in Black. I love him in Men in Black.
Okay, in Men in Black, in the Men in Black movies, of course, which were really good fun. He was a very, again, a very likable character in that, and just fun and entertaining. So that's why Tommy Lee Jones is number 10. Number 9 is Kevin Costner. For me, my favourite movie of his is Mr. Brooks. Reason for that is he just plays very. If you know me by now, guys, you know I'm into like the dark psychological sort of characters, you know, usually psychopaths or sociopaths or serial killers. And in this one, he plays a guy that's addicted to killing. So, yeah, I just found it a really good role for him, very different to what Kevin Costner usually plays. And it was amazing how he played that role. Obviously, with William Hurt as his conscience, but he's the only guy that saw him. But Kevin Costner's also done, you know, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, which was a very enjoyable film. I grew up with that one in the 90s, and he was good as Robin Hood. I know he didn't have the English accent, but that was a great adventure film. It really was. And, you know, he's been in The Perfect World, was another good one, directed by Clint Eastwood, that he was in, that I enjoyed too, when he was the criminal that takes a little boy but then befriends him and all that. And he's been in a lot of good movies. I think he's a really underrated actor, to be honest, Kevin Costner. And, yeah, he probably could have been in a lot more, but he's been in some good films, as I just mentioned. So that's number 9. Number 8 is Michael Fassbender. And his first sort of role was when he got in Quentin Tarantino's movie Inglourious Basterds. That was his first big break, I guess, in film. That was when he was first recognized anyway. And yeah, just a really high-class actor. He really is. And in the last few years, he's done some incredible roles. One of those being one of my favorites, the movie Shame, where he's like he's a sex addict, like he's completely addicted to it. And yeah, it's a really good, strong role. It's just amazing how good it is. I found
Actually, I think I saw a bit of that movie. Is that the movie that he is completely naked?
Yeah, it is at the very start. Yeah. So yeah, that's the one he Michael Fassbender bears all in this one. Oh. So
yeah, I think I saw that part only.
Yeah, he probably heard that from Sam, because he's seen it a lot. He's talked about quite a few parts in the.
I haven't heard that from Sam.
Okay, because
I know that long ago. From long ago, I know that.
Yeah. Because it was just like a real haunting sort of role as well. Like he seriously had like a mental problem and this addiction, and yeah, it's a good movie definitely. And the other good movie he's been in fairly recently is 12 Years a Slave, where he plays a slave owner, a real brutal character, and just brilliant again. And just recently he's played Steve Jobs, who's the owner of Apple. So yeah, he's a really, really good character actor, and one that I think could even play James Bond after Daniel Craig has finished. So that's Michael Fassbender. So
yeah, he's suitable, I think, for James Bond. And also, let's not forget, absolutely, and let's not forget that he's going to play Assassin's Creed.
Yes, of course. Gary being a huge gamer here, and I'm actually into the Assassin's Creed game. So yeah, Michael Fassbender is going to be playing Assassin's Creed, the main character. So that's going to be cool. And obviously also I forgot to mention, being in the superhero team, he also plays Magneto in the newer sort of X-Men movies, X-Men Days of Future Past and all that. So yeah, really good actor, and he's just got that gentleman class about him, which could work really well with a Bond if he chooses to do that role. But I think Michael Fassbender usually does a lot of the art house sort of films, which work well for him. So that's that. That's number 8. Number 7 is Robert De Niro, and this is more so Robert De Niro when he was younger. Now he's starring a lot of silly rubbish. He's in a lot of rubbish, to be honest. Like, I'm talking, my favourite one of his is obviously Taxi Driver, where he plays another sort of sociopath, Travis Bickle, and it's just an amazing movie. It really is. Yeah, he's like a taxi driver driving around the streets, but he's just not happy how society is, and he wants to do something about it. But yeah, it's a great transformation of a character. And Robert De Niro did a lot of these sort of movies in the 70s and 80s, specifically with MovieMan Jase. He did a lot of good films. In the early 90s, he also did Cape Fear, which was another really good performance as Max Cady. So, yeah, that was, again, a haunting, psychotic role. But, yeah, Robert De Niro in the 70s, 80s, and 90s was really good. Heat was another good one where he plays the villain. There's just so many, he's done so many good movies, Robert De Niro. Even in Meet the Parents, he's really likable. I really enjoyed that role. And Raging Bull was another one. Just, you could name Robert De Niro. There's about 20, 25 movies where he's really good in. So, as I said, just lately, obviously he's getting older, so he can't be in a lot of, the action sort of high-class movies. But, yeah, he's still one of my favourites anyway for all his past films.
Well, I definitely liked him in, How I Met Your Parents.
With
Ben Stiller.
Meet the Parents and Meet the Fuckers.
Yeah.
He's really good as Jack Burns. He's trying to protect his daughter, and just, as most dads would, I guess, when, the guy's dating the girl, he's very protective of his daughter and stuff. So it's really funny. That was one of his best sort of funny man roles, I must admit. As I said, lately he's tried to do that again, but it just hasn't worked. There's one just fairly recently called Dirty Grandpa. This looks like really slick. Yeah, not that great, to be honest. So, yeah, Robert De Niro's number 7. Number 6 is another sort of all-time actor, and that is Jack Nicholson. My favourite of his, obviously, is when he plays Randall Patrick McMurphy in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Gee, what a role this was for him. He just plays it perfectly. This guy that's been sent to a mental asylum, but he's not really crazy, but he's been sent there because he's been lazy at the jail where he was, so he's been sent there to be evaluated, even though he is really intelligent. He's not crazy at all, but it's just it's a great dramatic performance. There's a lot of great humour. Then if you know the ending, which I won't spoil because in case people haven't seen it, it's quite sad too. So it's just a great role, how he just befriends all the patients in the mental ward and, then goes against the nurse who's like the villain antagonist in the film. And it's just really good performance from Jack Nicholson. But again, like De Niro, he's been in a number of good roles. I was talking with Angel Tarragon the other day about him. And, The Joker was another one. I really liked Jack Nicholson as the Joker. Still one of my favourites. I think he played the Joker really well, that comedic element, and so many great lines as well. So, and then he's, Departed was another one, which is one of my favourite movies. Plays the mob boss Frank Costello really well too. So, again, done a lot of different genres: comedy, drama, gangster, Western back in the day. He's done a whole host of great genres. So, yeah, just a classic actor in my opinion. And, yeah, I'm sure there's at least one film of his that everyone would enjoy. So that's number 6. Number 5, Gary might know of this actor a little bit more, and is Leonardo DiCaprio. Again, one of my favourite actors, and some of my favourite movies of his, obviously, is The Departed. I think that was one of my favourite movies of his. I just really enjoyed his performance as Billy Costerton, a guy that was, he's sort of like a rat for the police. He works for the police and tries to uncover the boss of Jack Nicholson, and also his performance in Blood Diamond, where he plays a diamond mercenary. Well, he's a mercenary, but he's trying to smuggle in diamonds. Really good South African accent in that one, and I found him really good. He's also been in more recently The Reverend, which was an amazing performance. He's actually getting Oscar nominated for that. It's a really good survival role, and it's probably one of the most impressive performances I've seen of DiCaprio. But he's been in a lot of my favourite movies, not just the ones I mentioned. Shutter Island was another really good one. It was a great psychological thriller. The Beach, Catch Me If You Can, Wolf of Wall Street, of course. He's just been in so many good films. So it just shows how classy the actor is. So that's number 5. As I said, I don't want to go on too much.
Well, actually, Jace, I haven't seen almost the whole movie with Leonardo DiCaprio since I watched Titanic.
Jeez.
I'm not really a fan of his, never was. I mean, I have nothing against him or anything like this. I'm just Leonardo DiCaprio. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just, you know.
No, don't like him. Yeah, that's fair enough. It's, yeah, I guess you either like him or you do. So that's fine. As said, you know, in his early days, I didn't think he was good. Like I think he was like Titanic. Obviously, was his first break. I didn't really start liking him until he, you know, in 2006 when he did like Departed and Blood Diamond and Body of Lies and then Shutter Island. And then I just grew to really enjoy all his performances. Like if you've seen the later sort of roles, just really good acting. But everyone's
I'm sure that he is, but I remember that when I was little, you know, Titanic was huge, and I'm just like little kid that crying a lot watching the movie, and everyone were like, "Oh, Leonardo DiCaprio is so handsome, he's so pretty," and I was like, "What?" Because you know I couldn't like see it, so I was like, "Eh."
He for a while there he looked like quite young for his age. He was, you know, he looks a lot younger than he actually was in a lot of these movies. But no, he's really come out. I mean, he's got Oscar. I think he's going to win his Oscar for this latest movie. Like, he's got a pretty big chance. So, no, I think it's more so because I enjoy the movies as much as his acting in these films I just talked about. So it's probably a bit of both. And, you know, if it's a good movie, generally you're going to like the acting in the film too. So that's probably why he's in my list anyway. But that's fine. Yeah, just moving on. Again, number 4, I've talked about this actor a fair bit, so I won't go on too much, but that's Harrison Ford. And, you know, I've said it before, I've done a top 10 list of this actor. Fugitive is my favourite movie. Yeah, just a great actor who's done a lot of great roles. Han Solo, of course, Indiana Jones, all the films that I grew up with as a kid. So Fugitive, Witness, Frantic, all those great action dramas, thrillers. Love them all, and yeah, just the guy that I grew up with, so that's why he's on the list.
Oh yeah, I love him.
Yeah, I mean, so obviously Han Solo and Indiana Jones are two of the most well-known characters in movie history. So yeah, Harrison Ford is going to be remembered as a great actor for a long time. And obviously Blade Runner as well, he was good in that. There's going to be a sequel to that as well. So, that was good. So that's for quickly. Then I'll get on to the directors in a sec. But number 3, I've mentioned this guy a lot as well, so I won't go on too much. But it's Clint Eastwood. Obviously, I'm a big Western man, as all you guys would know by now. So, you know, my favourite movies of his are obviously the Man with No Name trilogy. Mentioned that heaps of times. Pale Rider was another one of my favourites. Also, some of the ones he directed as well, like Gran Torino, Mystic River, $1 Million Baby, all those ones. He was really, well, Mystic River he didn't actually act, but Gran Torino he was awesome in, and also $1 Million Baby with Hilary Swank, really touching performance in that one as well. So, I mean, Eastwood again is another actor I grew up with right from when I was really young, and I watched all those westerns and loved them. So that's that. Very quickly. Number 2, so this might be a bit of a surprise. Number 2, obviously, you guys would know me by now. Everyone's made a joke about it a bit. But yeah, Ryan Gosling, obviously. So,
he's number 2?
Yeah, he's number 2. So there's one that's beat him. So
that's impossible.
Yeah, he slipped down a bit. But as Sam has said before, he thinks I'm like the Aussie Ryan Gosling. So I don't know about that, but I'll keep the tag for now. Obviously, guys, Drive is probably my favourite movie of all time, so he was awesome in that. One, Place Beyond the Pines was another really good performance. Blue Valentine, Only God Forgives, all the later ones. Not so much The Notebook. I don't give SHIT about that movie. I really don't really care about it because you know, it's a chick flick. It's not really something I'm really into. It was okay, but it's not one I'm going to go back to. I just didn't find it that realistic. I don't know how you find The Notebook, Gary. Have you seen it?
What movie was it?
The Notebook. It's a very popular.
I tried to watch it, but I got so bored. I had to stop the movie.
There you go.
I couldn't stand it. Honestly,
it was boring. It's so unrealistic. Like, that's not how relationships and dating and all that goes. Come on, it's too unrealistic. If it was that easy, we'd all be finding people easy. So it's too unrealistic for me.
It's just boring for me. I mean, there's all kinds of love, but that was just like, oh my goodness, where is going to, when this movie is going to start? I'm like sitting, waiting,
exactly.
something to happen. I'm like, uh-oh, I can watch this. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. It was boring. Like the only reason I watched it was because obviously I was a big Ryan Gosling fan, and then a few of my female friends said, "Oh, have you seen The Notebook?" I said, "I haven't yet," so I watched it, and I'm not going to watch that movie again. It's so boring. If you want to watch Ryan Gosling, go watch Drive. Go watch Gangster Squad. Even that was a good one. Fracture. Even Crazy Stupid Love, which was again like a chick flick comedy drama. That was good. I could put up with that. That was actually pretty decent. But yeah, Notebook, not for me. But obviously, guys, Drive, love it. So that's that. But now, my number one. So can you guess what my number one is, Gary? Do you have any idea?
Well, now that Ryan Gosling is at number 2, I'm speechless.
Yeah. I wanted to change it up because, I mean, all these guys could be in different orders. It's hard to do when you're doing the list, but I mean, 1 and 2 sort of be switched around all the time. But my number 1 at this point is Tom Hardy. Just because I've been on quite a fix of his lately. I've been watching a lot of his movies recently. Obviously, Legend, which was a really good movie where he had to actually play 2 characters. He actually did both twin brothers, which was really impressive. The Quay twins, which were crime criminals in England in the 60s. Just an amazing performance, how he pulled it off. Also really loved Locke. That was a really awesome film in my opinion. He's also in Mad Max. Like recently, he was in The Revenant himself as the villain, and he's also getting a supporting actor nomination. He's been in Inception. That was when he first sort of came into the role. Really loved him in Bronson as well. That was an amazing performance in Bronson. So, yeah, Tom Hardy just really come up in the ranks for me. I've just been watching a lot of his movies. He's just a wonderful character actor, very charismatic, but also can do the tough guy role really well. And again, his name's been floating around with the Bond as well. So, and I reckon he could pull Bond off as well. Like, he's got the tough guy image really well. So he could do it too, for sure. So that's my number 1, Tom Hardy. The actors. And just quickly, before we do get on to directors, I just wanted to mention a couple of honourable mentions. Just quickly, my first honourable mention, unless you've got anything to say about Tom Hardy, Gary, do you have anything to say about him?
Yeah, he should work out more.
You reckon he should work out more?
Yeah, because he's only gets in like something like a shape when he's doing a row, and the rest of the time he looks like nothing. So yeah, because he takes a lot of steroids, so you can make his body muscular faster, and then he's like, because that's what happens when you make artificial muscles very fast, and he doesn't like to train.
He sort of trained and bulked up for Bane when he did the Bane character, and then the next role was kind of a thinner character. But he's done a lot of tough guy roles. Like Bronson, he had to be bulked up for. The movie Warrior, which was like a boxing film, he had to be pretty trim for. Even this like
MMA movie mostly. He had the best body there, but usually, if he trained all the time, he won't have to do those drastic, stuff and to take artificial trash so he can make himself bigger faster. Yeah. If he trains all the time, he'll look good all the time. But he doesn't like to train. He said that many times.
Yeah, he doesn't like to train, but I know what he means. I just think he's a really good character actor, and I think he's one of the best actors. Some people down him, but I reckon he's one of the best actors to do accents, because in The Revenant, he's putting on this really good accent. In Bronson, all of these movies he's been in, Bane, obviously that was, projected as well, but all these movies he's been in recently, even the one I watched the other day, Child 44, he had to put like a Russian accent. It's really impressive, it really is. Because, he's got more of a Cockney English accent when he talks normally, so I'm impressed. I think he could do the Bond role really well. I can see it happening, to be honest.
Yeah, he could, but isn't he like too short for
You're right,
balls.
he's a bit too short. I mean, Michael Fassbender's probably more of a taller, but Daniel Craig's not overly tall either, so could do it. But who knows?
Okay, well, Tom Cruise is super short and he does a lot of extra roles, so maybe they could find some kind of a way.
Well, these days they can make him look tall. I mean, yes, Daniel Craig's not overly tall. And even, I think, was it Timothy Dalton wasn't overly tall either, so they can do anything. But anyway, moving just quickly to honourable mentions before we get to the directors. One of my honourable mentions is obviously Joaquin Phoenix. Yeah, really good actor. He's the type of guy that picks a lot of these unusual sort of roles. He's in a lot of art house roles. He usually plays like the depressed loner, or yeah, he's in a lot of those sort of films like the movie Her, which was really good. Also, the one I just watched the other week, Irrational Man, where he plays that sort of eccentric sort of role. You know, I'm talking about he's really intelligent, but he's also like detached from like the normal world. He plays a lot of those roles. And then yeah, he's done Inherent Vice was another one. But yeah, Joaquin Phoenix is such a mysterious sort of actor. I like him. He does all these really cool roles. And I mean, he was really good as in the villain in Gladiator all those years ago. But yeah, recently I've really enjoyed all his performances as I've got into some of the art house films. So that's him. And just a couple more. Obviously, Christian Bale is another really good actor. Really enjoyed him. Again, he's a really good character actor and a guy that really, you know, does a lot for these roles. I mean, he can slim, like in The Machinist, he slimmed down to a really thin weight. Then in Batman, he bulked up for the role. So Christian Bale is another guy that really works hard. He's done a lot of good films, Batman, The Machinist, as I just mentioned, and a lot of other good ones. American Psycho is probably my favourite of his. Really good in that one as Patrick Bateman. So that's that. And I'll do one more, then we'll move on to directors. And the other guy is Javier Bardem. I think he's a Mexican or Spanish actor. He was most known for Anton Chigurh in No Country for Old Men, where he plays, again, a psychotic sort of hitman. And just, it was an amazing performance. One of the best serial killer, in my opinion. I really enjoyed it. He's also in Skyfall as the Bond villain, which he was really good in that too. And he's been in, again, a lot of art house films that not a lot of people have seen, like Beautiful was one of them, and there's a couple of others. But yeah, I won't go too much into that. That'll be for another time. But yeah, so that's pretty much all my actors. And I guess now we can, yeah, that was a lot of actors. There's a lot more, but I'll move on to directors, but I guess I'll let you do yours first, your favorite directors.
Yeah, mine are very easy, so.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the first, of course, is James Cameron.
Yep. And what's your favorite movie of James Cameron? If you can
Avatar.
Remember. Avatar. Oh, no.
Of course.
Oh, no.
Number one for me is Avatar.
No, how could you like Avatar?
Yeah, but it's my favorite movie of all time, so
yeah, okay.
I love it. Everything about it is so awesome to watch it. And all that. Good. Yeah, he's a visionary, you can say. And still holds the number one spot, but we'll see how Star Wars does at the end. But yeah, for now.
Yeah, well, James Cameron did the Terminator films as well, so
I know.
Those early Terminator films, they were awesome. And he did Titanic.
The first Alien. Yeah, Titanic, the first Alien movie.
No, he did the second Alien. The first one was Ridley Scott.
The first or the second?
The first Alien movie was Ridley Scott, and the second one was The Aliens. Was James Cameron.
Oh, okay. And I think True Lies, again, is by James Cameron.
Yeah. Titanic. That was good. True Lies, which is another one that really needs to be released on Blu-rays. Yeah, that's crazy how that Arnie movie is not released on Blu-ray. I don't understand.
But, yeah, one of those classics, of the 90s. And of course, I forgot to say Arnold Schwarzenegger is my favorite actor, but just slipped my mind.
Yeah, of course, one of the probably one of the best action sort of actors, cheesy actors of all time for sure. Some of the most memorable lines in movie history, from Terminator and Predator and Commando. But
he's awesome.
Definitely, but James Cameron, you're right. He's a very visionary sort of actor and a big scale sort of director too. And especially in the 80s and 90s when he was doing all those science fiction films like Aliens and Terminator. just really good ideas. I mean, to create ideas like that is not easy. So yeah, really good.
Yeah, and remember, he always like does some special effects that no one did before. Like in Avatar, he took that to a whole new level of, you know, photorealism that we've never seen before. And you can play Avatar now on a big TV, and you're like, that's amazing. You know, it looks so real, and just the actors, how they play. You know, I saw the making of Avatar, and I had that on my Blu-ray disc, the only Blu-ray that I own.
Oh,
you know?
wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And you see how Zoe Saldana, she plays Neytiri here, and you see how the camera, you know, follows her face and her face movements, and the other part of the screen is the finished product Neytiri, and it's just the same thing, and it's amazing.
Yeah, it's
just
incredible.
amazing.
You must be looking forward to the next Avatar sequel.
Yeah, the bad thing is that we have to wait so long. Probably to my next birthday.
Yeah, I think they delayed it, didn't they? They delayed, because it was supposed to be, I think, at the end of next
2017.
year. Yeah, they delayed something there, but yeah. Now James Cameron's a great pick. The Abyss was another one. I'm not sure if you've seen that one. That was in the late 80s. That was a really good film as well.
The Abyss?
The Abyss, sorry. Jesus.
The Abyss?
I always call it Abyss. Abyss.
The Abyss. I saw it, yeah. Yeah, I saw it.
It's a good one, but what's some of your others?
Yeah, the other directors, James Gunn, you know, that did Guardians of the Galaxy. He's very good. Yeah. That director that did Deadpool, I forgot his name.
Hang on.
He's also very good. He also did DC Universe. Yeah, Tim Miller. He did. I know that he did DC Universe. That is the game, DC Universe. A trailer, sort of a CGI intro to the game, and it was amazingly directed. And he obviously has a vision for things.
Yeah, very good animator, and very good. He hasn't done a lot of films as yet, but I think now with the success of Deadpool, he's going to be doing a lot more. For sure. So, really interesting director. Do you have any more?
Yeah, I think the director of Avengers.
I don't know. The Joss Whedon or something. Joss Whedon.
Yeah, Joss Whedon. Yeah. Actually, he was a big fan of Xena before.
Okay, that's why he liked him, because he's a big fan of Xena.
Oh no! Because he did a great job with the Avengers, and the Russo brothers that did Captain America: Civil War. And I think there's one more, but I just can't think of him now. But there's just one more that I really like. But anyway, continue.
Okay, I'll continue with my list.
My boy.
Top 10 list. I know. I guess you can add something. I'll let you add something if you know the director. So number 10, guys, is Tony Scott. Did a lot of action movies, and some of my favorites of his is Man on Fire, the wonderful film of Denzel Washington where he plays a hitman who has to look after Dakota Fanning. Wonderful film. Did The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. Obviously did one of the very famous movies in the 80s, Top Gun, which everyone knows about, I'm sure. So yeah, Tony Scott was just a really, sadly he actually, I think, committed suicide or something, but he did a lot of good action movies and just a lot of fun, entertaining films in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s. So yeah, that's why he's on the list. I just love that Man on Fire film especially, and obviously he's the brother of Ridley Scott, who's another very famous director. So that's number 10. Have you seen any of those movies Gary mentioned, or you haven't?
Not sure.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. The next director that I've got here is, I don't know if I'm saying this right, but excuse me anyway. It is Antoine Fuqua, and this director directed the really good film, The Equalizer, with again Denzel Washington, which was really good. And I forgot to mention Denzel Washington again. He'd be in one of my probably honorable mentions. A really good actor. He's done so many
I think it's Antoine Fuqua, actually.
Yeah. There you go. You know better than me. But yeah, just quickly on Denzel, yeah, again, a really good actor and amazing action performances. But yeah, Anton, whatever it is, also did, also did the wonderful film. I really love this one. I know Falagar does as well. It's King Arthur, a really good medieval, which is really underrated in my opinion. I found it really entertaining with Clive Owen and Keira Knightley. I found that one so good. So I love the epicness of it, the music and everything. So I really think he's a good director. He also did the other really good film with Denzel, Training Day, which was just a really enjoyable film. I really enjoyed that. Very entertaining, really well acted too. I think Denzel actually might have won the Oscar for that one from memory, and Ethan Hawke I think is in that one as well. So that's that. So I don't want to go on too much. Number 8 is Christopher Nolan, and obviously he's a very well-known director. He's directed the Dark Knight trilogy. He also directed Memento, and he directed my personal favorite of his is the wonderful psychological crime thriller Insomnia with Al Pacino and Robin Williams. Just I love that film. The mood to that film is just wonderful. Has a lot of great acting by both Pacino and Williams, and it has that dark, haunting edge to it, which I really liked. But obviously,
Inception as well, right?
Inception, there you go. You can talk a little bit about that in a sec. I wasn't big on Inception, and also Interstellar, I think that he did, but I must admit the Batman trilogy was awesome. The Dark Knight trilogy was just amazing. Batman Begins is my favorite of those, and I just found them just incredible. How Batman has not looked better on screen with those movies. I mean, just perfect films, really gritty and edgy, and what Batman should be. So, yeah, Christopher Nolan, great director. Do you like him, Gary? Christopher Nolan, his movies?
Well, I did like Inception, but then Interstellar was very disappointing for me in terms of the way how the story was structured, the whole message, the confused messages, and all that things that I'm usually very much in, like like the science of it and all that. So I wasn't a fan of the movie overall. The Batman movies, the first one I did like. The second one I found a little bit disturbing. And I think that I like the last one better for some reason. I just, that Joker of Heath Ledger Joker, he was too haunting for me. I mean, the way that he cuts his mouth and his enemy's mouth, that was disgusting. I couldn't stand that.
I got these scars.
Yeah, that was too much for me, too dark, and I was feeling like extremely uneasy and disturbed when I got out of the theater, and I was like, I never felt worse watching superhero movie, and just feel very bad about everything in the movie. And the thing with his Batman is that he's really like weak. He's not like the Batman from the comics, and that is the one thing that I missed from his Batman in his movies, because it's not really a real representation of how Batman is in the comics and in the TV series. By that I mean the animations, of course, which are a lot more accurate representation of how Batman is. And now that's why I'm even more excited for Ben Affleck's Batman, because he does look like Batman's Batman.
Okay,
so,
interesting.
I prefer more comic booky when it's a comic book movie.
Comic booky. I'm more because I like psychological stuff and serial killer and gritty, edgy stuff. Those Batman movies really suited me because, as you said, they were more dark and more edgier and more realistic, I guess. You know what I mean? So it's not getting in the way if Batman is more flexible and he moves more and he kicks guys' asses more, efficiently and quickly and smoothly. That's not, interrupting the realism, but he just decided to make Batman like slow and kind of stiff. So that's kind of, it's not about the style. It's about how Batman was mostly. Yeah, I understand. Okay, so that's number 8. Number 7, maybe you haven't heard this director. I love this director. It's Michael Mann. He directed Collateral, Heat, Last of the Mohicans, all really, really good films. I enjoyed all of them. And Collateral was amazing. Tom Cruise's best performance in my opinion. Heat was another really good crime film, and Last of the Mohicans, which is just a wonderful sort of drama, survival, war film, I guess you could say as well. So Michael Mann's a really good director. Again, has really good moods in his films, like especially Collateral when they're driving through the streets. Heat was very similar. This has really good, feel to them, and really realistic too, and always good acting in all his movies, in my opinion. So really good director. That's number 7.
Mm-hmm.
Number 6 is Clint Eastwood, of course, who's not only could he act, he can also direct really good films. And obviously Gran Torino was one, as I mentioned before. $1 Million Baby, Unforgiven, which is one of my favorite westerns of all time.
American Sniper?
American Sniper, there you go. Really good. That was actually a pretty good film. Power Rider was another one of mine. As I said, he did a lot of good westerns, but he also did a lot of good dramas. Plain Misty for Me was actually his first movie he ever directed, and that was like a horror sort of obsession sort of movie, a bit like Fatal Attraction, where the girl gets really obsessed with a guy, and it's Clint Eastwood was just a great director. Again, can do a whole host of different genres. Always has really good pacing to his films, and always has really wonderful messages in the films as well, which adds a lot. So Clint Eastwood, number 6.
And I think his son, by the way, is also stepping up a lot.
Yeah, I heard he's actually in a western I saw on Amazon called Diablo or something. So I might check that one out. Obviously,
and he's also in Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad, exactly. So
yeah,
Clint Eastwood. Number 5 is a very famous director. I'm not sure, Gary, if you know this one, but it is Stanley Kubrick, and he's done he's one of the most unusual directors. If you've seen any of his films, you know what I'm talking about. But my favorites of his, my ultimate favorite is Clockwork Orange, but I also really loved The Shining and Spartacus, and Eyes Wide Shut wasn't bad as well. But his movies are just bizarre. They're like made before their time in a way. They're just really unusual, especially Clockwork Orange and The Shining, and even as I said, Eyes Wide Shut they're always really good set pieces. The art in all of these movies, and just all the set pieces and design is really good as well. So just an amazing director, and he got a lot out of his actors. Like I know I was watching an interview of Tom Cruise, and he just became so good friends with this director. He's an amazing director. As I said, really weird, unusual films, a lot of graphic sort of stuff in his films. He doesn't really leave anything to the imagination. A lot of his films are quite graphic in a lot of ways, if you know what I'm talking about.
Boy.
Yeah, not just talking about violence either. So, he's a good director, old-time director. And, as I said, did a lot of good films. Another one I forgot to mention was Full Metal Jacket, which is a really good war film, sort of psychological at the start as well. So that's number 5. Now, number 4, what do we got here? Number 4, I'm sure Gary knows this one, is Quentin Tarantino.
Oh, yeah.
Number 4. And as I said, guys, I've said this before, my number 1 favorite is Jackie Brown. Just love that one. I know it's very underrated. A lot of people don't have that as high, but obviously I also love Pulp Fiction, of course, Inglourious Bastards, Django Unchained, Kill Bills, and the more recent movie that I saw, Hateful Eight. Again, he's the master of dialogue. I don't think there's any other director that can match him with that. And a master of creating really different and unusual characters in every single film. Master of putting out really good soundtracks, because he actually chooses all his soundtracks. He doesn't just get the music people to do it, he actually does it. And just a wonderful director who always got very unusual things to his movies. Are you about to say something there, Gary?
Yeah, don't forget the master of squashing an eye under a boot.
I guess, yes, he's very well known for his violent scenes and over-the-top violence, but I think that just adds to the enjoyment for me. I mean, I know a lot of people can't watch. I know you're one of them, Gary, that found Kill Bill sort of hard to stomach in some places.
In some places, yes, yeah.
But I think he's just a master. He just got it all down pat, and I think he said he's going to retire in a couple of films, so it'll be sad when he doesn't make any films, but I guess we've still got all the other ones we can watch again and again, so nah, he hasn't had too many flops. I mean, most directors might have like a couple of bad movies. Pretty much all his movies are really good. Like Death Proof, yeah, it's not my type of thing, but there's still good aspects to that film. But yeah, I think he's a good director anyway. So that's number 4.
Movies are subjective. For me, James Cameron doesn't have a bad movie, but you don't like Avatar, so yeah, it's subjective. I was going to say Kill Bill, but I mean, the director. I just forgot his name. Quentin Tarantino. Okay.
Tarantino.
Yeah, for me, Kill Bill was super uneasy to watch most of the time, but at the same time, I was very intrigued what the hell is going to happen. And like I've heard, there's going to be a sequel next year, maybe. It's not confirmed, I don't think, but I did saw it in IMDb, so maybe it's confirmed. And if that happens, I would love to see Uma Thurman. And oh yeah, she's one of my most favorite actresses. I forgot. I always love her and everything. So.
Really good awesome. Actress as well, yeah. So that's number 4. What have we got? Number 3 is Nicholas Winding Refn, and this is a Danish director who obviously directed the movie Drive, which is my favorite film of all time. He also did Only God Forgives, the movie Bronson, and also The Hill Rising. And again, this director, a little bit like Tarantino, he is quite graphic. Like all his movies are pretty violent and graphic. He got very unusual tones to his films, but they're almost, how can you say, dreamlike in a lot of the sequences. They're just really cool color schemes in the films. Again, really cool soundtracks as well. And yeah, just unusual characters, and just sometimes, like some of his movies, especially like Only God Forgives, there isn't like a tight storyline, but it's more or less like a dream movie. And I don't know, it's just a really unusual director, and yeah, I don't know much more to say, but yeah, I just love the color to all his films, and just the mood to it as well. Like he's a really good director for mood and pacing, I think. So yeah, I think he's a really good director, and I've watched a lot of his films. He's a really good Danish director. So that's Nicholas Winding Refn. I know you haven't seen any of those films, have you, Gary?
No, I don't think so.
No, I think you should watch Drive. At least watch Drive, since it's my favorite.
Okay.
I think you'll enjoy Drive. It's not too bad. Like it's not too brutal. It's nothing as bad as Kill Bill. So.
Oh.
I think you should. So it's
really?
Not too bad.
It's not too bad.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not as bad as Kill Bill. There's like maybe 2. I think there's like 2 real sort of graphic scenes, but that's about it.
Okay.
So that's So that's that. So that's number 3, guys. Number 2, another really old-time Western actor that I know Gary won't totally know, but it's the Italian director who directed all the spaghetti westerns, Sergio Leone, who did the Man with No Name trilogy. He also did Once Upon a Time in the West and Once Upon a Time in America. And obviously, you know me, guys, I love the Man with No Name trilogy. Again, just a wonderful director. How he has, again, the wonderful soundtracks, the 10-minute stare downs where he just, it's just on the eyes flashing to one character to another for like 10 minutes. There's a lot of scenes in the film, especially in Once Upon a Time in the West. In the first 10 minutes, there's no real dialogue. There's just noises in the set. So it's just, he's a good director. He's a really good Western director. Obviously, he got Clint Eastwood's career going, and Lee Van Cleef as well. So, just obviously, if you're a Western director, you got to put Sergio Leone in there. So, he's a great director. I won't go too much on him. And now my number one is Martin Scorsese. Is my number 1 director. He's just done so many good films. The Departed is in my top 10. Taxi Driver is in my top 10. Shutter Island I loved. Cape Fear, Goodfellas, Casino, all those films. Wolf of Wall Street. He's just done a lot of great films over the decades. 70s, 80s. He just continues to grow as a director. He obviously had a great partnership with Robert De Niro back in the 70s and 80s, and then had a little bit of a partnership with Leo DiCaprio where they did 3 or 4 films together, and yeah, he's a good director. I really find him. Again, he doesn't shy away. He always shows the realism to his films. They're always quite gritty and raw, and always really good characters as well. So that's number 1, Martin Jase. A couple honourable mentions as well. I won't go too much into these ones, but Steven Spielberg, of course.
Oh yeah.
I'd like to mention him. You know, Jaws, Jurassic Park, all my childhood, E.T., Jaws, Jurassic Park, all those wonderful films that you can watch over and over again. He could have easily been in his top 10 list, and sometimes he is, but yeah, really good director. Also, Ridley Scott is another really good director. Obviously directed Alien, which is one of the best science fiction horror movies of all time. He directed Gladiator, which is one of my favourite films as well.
Yeah, although he does have some flops, like...
He does have some flops, like
that last movie, like Prometheus.
Counselor was bad. Counselor was really bad. He directed that. That wasn't good.
Yeah, Prometheus and that Moses movie.
Yeah,
I forget.
The can't remember that now. Noah something? No.
No.
It wasn't Noah.
Exodus. Gods and Kings. Yeah, that movie was a flop. Prometheus was a flop, and honestly, both movies had a lot of flaws. So, yeah.
Not good. I mean, he also did Blade Runner, that was a good science fiction noir sort of film. But yeah, he has had some bad ones too. And then one more. This is another director that hasn't done a lot, but it's Derek Cianfrance, who did 2 of my favourite films again. He did The Place Beyond the Pines with Ryan Gosling, and he also did Blue Valentine with, again, Ryan Gosling and Michelle Williams, which was a really good drama on the a look on relationships and how someone falls in love and then how someone gets married and then falls out of love. So it's almost showing the whole cycle of how someone starts dating, gets married, and then obviously over time people change, and unfortunately marriage breaks down sometimes. So yeah, I mean that was a good film, and obviously Place Beyond the Pines is just a wonderful again drama. It's done in 3 parts, and obviously I won't spoil it for you, but yeah, it's a really touching story. So, yeah, another really good director. So, yeah, that's all my honorable mentions.
And I have one more director, actually.
Yeah, go ahead.
I can't believe that I forgot about him, because he is maybe my most favorite actor, James Cameron, actually, and that is J.J. Abrams.
J.J. Abrams, the man behind Star Wars Force Awakens.
And Star Trek.
And Star Trek, the latest editions of those as well. Yeah, I mean, he couldn't have made Star Wars any better. He really couldn't. Can't see what else he could have done. I think a lot of expectations, lots of pressure on him, and I think he really delivered a great Star Wars film. And just a shame he will not be doing the next one. I think he's sort of regretting it now after the success of Star Wars Force Awakens. He probably wishes that he was, but
very sad about this, actually.
J.J. Abrams, I actually liked him in Lost, the TV. He actually did the TV show Lost, which was a really good TV show. And do you have any TV shows, things you want to mention?
Oh yeah, but first, one of my favorite actresses now is definitely Daisy Ridley from Star Wars.
Oh, of course.
She is absolutely amazing.
She's definitely like that character. Ray is a character you're rooting for. She's the one you're following the whole movie, and you're right. She played that perfectly, and she's going to play a big part in the next 2 movies as well, obviously. And I think we can safe to say, I think we can think she's probably Luke's daughter. I think we think that. Well, I do anyway. I'm not sure if that's official, but I think it'll be. She's a good actress for sure. And,
Carrie Fisher also. I did love her a lot. Also, Gwendolyn Christie. She's one of those. From Game of Thrones. Yes, but no, another actress. Just let me check her name.
Okay. I'll check
Game of Thrones. Oh, and I totally forgot one of my most favorite actresses. I totally forgot. Catherine Winnick from the Vikings.
Oh, the Vikings TV show. That's a wonderful TV show.
Yeah, but Catherine Winnick is amazing. She was in several movies also, and she's so awesome. I don't know why then they don't use her more, but hopefully she'll get more roles in the future. Okay, so I'm going to tell you which was that actress? Who was that actress? Damn it. I know her name very well, but I can't find her right now. She's also in that new movie, The Forest. So let me check that. It's going to be a lot faster.
While you're looking for that, I know a few people are watching, so I'll just shout them out now. I know Blu-ray Hoarder is watching, aka Robbie from Hawaii. So thanks for watching, man. I'll just read out a few things you've been saying too. John Steele and Leroy Green as well, all been watching. So thanks for watching, guys. And
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And he just left me a couple of his favorite directors. This is Robbie. He's got Scorsese, Tarantino, Park Chan-wook, Old Boys. It's that Spielberg, Neil Blomkamp, Richard Linklater, John Hughes, and the Coen brothers. And yeah, he said his favorite Scorsese ones were Casino and Goodfellas, Coen brothers films, No Country for Old Men, Fargo, and Inside Llewyn Davis. Okay. And Tarantino was Django, and Death Proof was his worst. Okay. Yep.
Okay, and the actress that I was talking about is Natalie Dormer.
Okay, Natalie Dormer, I've heard of her. Yep, definitely.
Yeah, she's one of those awesome actresses that I wish they were, bigger, but hopefully in time.
Yeah, I really like. Speaking about, I don't have a top 10. I don't have a top 10 actress list prepared, but if I can name a few, definitely Emma Stone. Yeah, I'm really attracted to her. I really liked her in Crazy Stupid Love, Easy A. She was actually really good in that movie, Irrational Man, with Joaquin Phoenix.
I watched Easy A, yeah.
Yeah, and also in Gangster Squad with Ryan Gosling, she was really good. So yeah, she's just a likable character. Also really like Emily Van Camp from the Revenge movies. She's also in Winter Soldier. Yeah, really beautiful actress. And
Emily Blunt.
Yeah. Emily. Oh no, not Emily Blunt. Emily Van Camp.
Yeah. No, I'm just adding to the list.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, Blu-ray Hoarder mentioned Emily Blunt as well. So, and he said Naomi Watts. Yeah, I agree with that actually. She was really good in The Ring, King Kong, Funny Games. She was actually good in that too. So good stuff. What other actresses? Uma Thurman, you already mentioned. I really like Diane Kruger. She was in Troy. She was also in Inglourious Bastards. Enjoyed her.
Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie, who's been in a lot of good roles. Tomb Raider, of course, Salt, Wanted, Maleficent. So many good roles she's been in.
Charlize Theron.
Another good South African, I believe, actress. She was in The Devil's Advocate from memory. She was good. There's one on my tip of my Mad Max as well, where she's really shone as
Snow White and the Huntsman.
Snow White and Huntsman as well.
And the new movie. The new movie Huntsman Winter's War as well. I can't wait for that.
Yeah. Damn. Not good with actors though. I've got one on the tip of my tongue, but I'll think about it later. I mean, I haven't seen a lot of, I'm trying to think. There is one. I'm trying to think. I know a lot of people hate Nicole Kidman, but she's okay. She's not the worst. Maybe because she's more of an Aussie, I guess. I like her, but she's okay. She's probably good back in the 80s and 90s more than now. She's not as good now, but I reckon in the 80s and 90s she made some good films.
And from the male actors, I think we forgot Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds, yeah.
Okay, and Hugh Jackman. Well, Ryan Reynolds was great in Deadpool, and he is great usually. And Hugh Jackman is always great. So
yeah, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine is great, and Hugh Jackman in Prisoners. And damn, that's the guy. Ricky, he's watching this. Jake Gyllenhaal man, how good an actor is he? Nightcrawler and Prisoners and Enemy. He's a fantastic actor who's really risen in the last 2 or 3 years. So yeah, it's that. This actress is on the tip of my tongue. I mean, Anne Hathaway's not bad. She's alright. She was in Batman Dark Knight Rises, and
she's good. She's very good.
She's actually pretty good. But she must have been in a Bond movie, maybe. I can't think it right now. I mean, you said Amy Adams before. I know that.
Well, that actress that played the Bond girl in the latest movie, she's very good. She's like Catherine Winnick. Yeah, in many ways.
Yeah,
they're very similar. And that actress from Man of Steel that played Fiora.
Don't know who that is.
She's a German actress.
Okay.
But she kicks ass.
Cool. I know. I was thinking of Eva Green as well. I like her in some of these movies. She was good in Casino Royale as the Bond girl, and she was also in the sequel of 300, Rise of the Empire. So.
Oh yeah.
She was good. Michelle Williams is pretty good.
Michelle Rodriguez, Jessica Alba.
There you go. All those good actresses. I still cannot get the one that I really want.
God damn it.
I know. I'm trying.
In which movie? Tell me the movie.
That's what I'm trying to remember the movie. It's probably in my collection somewhere. But, we got some more people. He also said more actors here. He said Michael Keaton, De Niro, McConaughey, Bale, Jason Statham, Gary. Donnie Yen, Oscar Isaac. Yeah, he's really grown in the last few years. Star Wars, right? Yeah, Sylvester Stallone, obviously in the 80s. Michelle Williams, as Order was saying. Yeah, she was really good in Blue Valentine and also Shutter Island. I really enjoyed her. And even in the film, I think it was Brokeback Mountain, she was in that as well. She was pretty good there too. But this is annoying me. Like, I'm trying to see which one it is, but I can't think about it. I know who it is. It's because I've been watching a lot of her movies lately. Is Meg Ryan back in the 80s and 90s. She was good in a lot of those drama comedies. I liked her in those movies.
Oh yeah, she was so famous.
Yeah, I've been watching Who's Got Mal, Sleepless in Seattle, and When Harry Met Sally. I've been watching all those recently, so I liked her in those. She was good.
Also from those times, Goldie Hawn and Bette Midler.
I've just found the girl I'm looking for. It's Rosamund Pike, obviously in Gone Girl. She was really good in Gone Girl, and she was also in the Bond girl in Die Another Day. So Rosamund Pike's really good. I think she's Scottish or British actress. She's really good. I liked her in Gone. She was so good in Gone Girl. You should definitely check that out. Very good psychological crime film. David Fincher. So yeah, definitely check that out. But yeah, I don't think I can think of too many more. I know the other girl, Amanda Seyfried. She's pretty cool. She was in Mamma Mia, Chloe. Movie Gone. She's pretty good. I like her. Maybe more because she looks nice and she, attractive. But I liked her in some of those movies as well. So, there's so many. But there's too many of them. Too many good actresses and actors. But I'm glad I got my top 10 list for my directors and actors out anyway. So it saves me doing a video. So it's good. Do you have anything more to add, Jerry?
Well, let me think about it. Well, there's the cast of Saturday Night Live. Yeah, I just love that show, especially from 2012 till now. And before, there was a lot of super good actresses and actors that hosted the show. Among them, of course, Lucy Lawless and Britney Spears. And I am very big fan of Britney. At least I was before. Now I am still, but I'm like, damn it, when we are going to see something new. But whatever. And yeah, so Saturday Night Live, there are so many talented actors there, and I'm just so surprised. I watched a sketch with Sofia Vergara and one other actress, Katie something. I have to learn her name, and they were They were like acting a Pantene shampoo like a commercial, and it was so funny. I couldn't stop laughing. So I really have to send you a link of that sketch. It's 5 minutes, but it's amazing.
Good stuff.
So yeah, some comedic actors and actresses also might have. Oh, and the cast of The Big Bang Theory as well.
Of course, you know all your TV shows. Great cast.
Yeah, everyone was funny.
No.
Yeah, super awesome.
Let's hope some of these actors that we mentioned, the ones that are alive, I mean, most of them are, continue to make good movies and have some more good roles. Definitely, because there's some talent that really, I think all the ones we mentioned, there's a lot of talent in there. So he's, really
ton of talent.
Ton of talent. So I think we've pretty much named all the good ones. You can throw in Tom Cruise, you can throw in, I had Sean Connery, obviously, for the Bond movies. Daniel Craig, obviously, is good.
Yeah.
There's so many.
The late Robin Williams.
Yeah, Robin Williams, Ricky, Lola's Bateman's favorite actor. Really good film. All his films. I prefer his dramatic roles, but yeah, really good actor. It's very sad that he's died. Robbie's got here Al Pacino, obviously. Yes, really good actor, Al Pacino. I'm really looking forward to.
He was very funny. Actually, Al Pacino in that movie with Adam Sandler, Jack and Jill.
Jack and Jill. I really liked Al Pacino in Insomnia, Scarface, also Heat. I'm really looking forward to watching Devil's Advocate because I haven't seen that one yet. He's got Mel Gibson here. Yeah, of course. Mel Gibson's I really like Mel Gibson, like Gallipoli, Mad Max. He's also in Ransom, which is a really good 90s thriller that I really enjoyed. There's so many good actors. So we've only covered like the basis, but I think we've covered a fair bit. I think we've gone through a lot of great actors and directors. So do you have anything more to add, Gary, or is that it?
Well, I can always talk about some TV shows, but we are going to be here all day.
Well, we can talk about a little bit more if you want. It's fine.
Okay. Just a little bit more, then we really have to end this because it's very long now. Okay, so the brand new shows that are more famous are like the Shannara Chronicles, which is very good, but in the same time is kind of silly. The next one, because they mix the kind of like Today Times with fairy tale, and it's very interesting. But it's post-apocalyptic show, years after the humanity as we know it is ended, and there's only some group of humans, and from somewhere, some group of trolls, some group of gnomes, some group of elves, and we all live together. And it's you can see the wrecks of the old world, like a parts of cars, a parts of chairs, and a parts of some towers. And it's very, very interesting because it's like a fairy tale, but at the same time you see those modern parts of things. And the actors are not very good, but in the same time some of them are good. So we'll see how that show goes. But Vikings is very, very sophisticated, like Game of Thrones sophisticated.
My brother likes Vikings. He's got all the series on Blu-ray. He's a big lover of the Vikings, definitely. I have seen some of it, and it looks amazing. It looks really good.
Oh yeah, it's very thick. Story is very, it has substance. And Michael Hurst is creator of the show, and Michael Hurst is the actor that played Iolaus in Hercules' Legendary Journeys, also in Xena, and he became a very good director with time. He also directed one of the bloodiest episodes of Xena, one of the most scariest and bloodiest. And he is kind of crazy, actually. He tried to do Camelot, that's the name of the show, that was with Eva Green, actually. But she played Morrigan, I think. But the show was too disgusting, and they kind of destroyed it, and it wasn't that interesting. I mean, he tried, but maybe somebody was in his way, and he couldn't, spread his wings a lot and do what he wants. But now Vikings is his own show, and he really does the best he can to make every character super awesome and deep and compelling. And it's a history show, and it's based on real people. So all the Vikings are like real historical people that actually existed. And plus some legends, but mostly I think it's real stories that they try to bring to life somehow. And so yeah, Vikings, and that's the most, one of the most sophisticated shows. As one of the best actresses ever, actually, I totally forgot about her again, is Melissa Benoist, that plays Supergirl. She's too good. I couldn't believe that. There's actresses that can play Supergirl so good. She's so amazing. I'm just like speechless when she plays like emotional scene. You're just like glued to the screen, and I just don't have any words for her. She's amazing. Something else. And that actress from Kill Bill, not Kill Bill. Sorry. I forgot her name, but she's also from Supergirl. You know her. She's the wife of Harrison Ford. Damn it.
Calista Flockhart.
Calista Flockhart, yeah, she's so amazing in Supergirl. She's just, everything she says is like, oh boy, I have to write it down. It's almost that good. It's amazing. Okay. Yeah, so that is very promising show, and all the actors are really well cast. The Vampire Diaries, it's only shock all the time. The whole show is going forward through shock. So you're just like calm, everything is okay. Somebody dies, and then again and again, and something like this. So that is a particular show for a particular, you can say, audience. Then you have The Originals, another vampire show, which is very, very good. It's a spin-off of the Vampire Diaries. A lot of good actors there. There's so many good actors there. You're just like wondering why they're not super famous. It's just you have to. You can't go into that show because you have to watch the whole Vampire Diaries series and then start with The Originals. You can't go from the beginning because the show is connected to the previous show and all that. I just can't remember all the awesome things, but there are a lot of amazing.
I think it's really good now. You're talking about all your TV shows. How TV shows, they've really expanded now. TV shows are becoming nearly bigger than movies. So a lot of these actors are getting chances to be in films and chances to be in these blockbusters because of these TV shows. So they're coming from really good TV shows like Game of Thrones. I mean, Emilia Clarke did Terminator Genesis. All these different actors will be doing big movies. So it's really good how a lot of these good TV shows transferring these actors and now some directors into making bigger movies or starring in bigger movies as well. So
absolutely. Like the best example that I can give you right now is the actor that plays the main guy in Vikings. Just a second to check his name. He is the main character in the new Warcraft movie.
Okay.
Yeah, Travis Fimmel.
Right.
I'm not sure how. Yeah, he's Ragnar in Vikings, so he's the main actor there and character. So can't wait to see him. He's the manly badass type.
Exactly. No, there's going to be a lot of good movies coming. So as you said, a lot of those actors getting into these bigger roles because of the shows they're in, like the Vikings, Game of Thrones. I mean, all those shows get a lot of notice now. Like back in the day, TV shows weren't as big. And, with your TV show star, chances are you're not going to get into the movies. But now these guys are going into the film because of these performances in TV shows. So
a lot of amazing budgets for those TV shows, especially for Shannara Chronicles. Movie level of special effects. And the next shows that I want to mention real quick are, of course, The Flash, Arrow, DC Universe, DC Legends of Tomorrow, which is getting better and better with each episode. And The Flash and Arrow are not really that strong as Supergirl is in terms of the way of telling of the story, actors, how they play exactly. But they're a good show, especially The Flash is even better. So once again, we have so many things to watch and not enough time, basically.
Yep. As a standard movie, just before we close off, the standard thing is so many TV shows, so many movies out there, there's so little time to watch them all.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's usually how it is. There's so many, probably out of little actors that we haven't mentioned today that are probably really good that we haven't taken notice yet because we haven't seen a lot of the stuff. And that's definitely goes for me with TV shows. I haven't watched that many TV shows. So, I just got a question for you, Gary, because Blu-ray Reporter asked me to ask you a question. Just said, if you have Netflix, and have you watched Daredevil and Orange is the New Black? Have you watched those two films?
Okay, I don't have Netflix because Netflix is not present in Bulgaria yet, but it's going to be very soon, as I understand. But I did watch Daredevil and, of course, Jessica Jones. And also Marco Polo, I think it was. No, not Marco Polo, but yeah, something like that. I forget the exact name of the series, but yeah, I watched those Netflix series.
Cool. Yeah, they're very popular, especially Daredevil. It's really
they're amazing. They're amazing. And I totally love them. So I can't wait for the new Daredevil season.
Yeah. So that's interesting. So Bulgaria hasn't got Netflix yet, but you probably find in the next few months, hopefully you'll get it.
Yeah, but I have my ways of finding things. So when I have no means else to watch things, I will just download them. I have no other option. But when Netflix comes around, yeah, we'll see. Can't wait to see how that is going to be like here.
Yeah, I'm sure you're going to find out many different shows, and you're going to probably tell me next time many different actors and actresses from all these good TV shows. So, no, that's really good. In closing, I guess, unless you've got any more comments, or are you fine with what you've said?
Well, this topic is endless, so I think we might as well close it here.
I guess this, guys, we can do different parts of this, and they will be continually doing hangouts throughout the year when we're both free. I mean, some of the other guys will come on as well at different times, but I'll just end it with a few mentions first off. Thank you to Gary to joining me tonight for me anyway, with this topic. It was pretty last minute, I guess you could say, with the topic, but I think we did well. I think we got a lot of it out there, and it was quite interesting. So thank you, Gary, for joining me.
Thank you.
Also, thanks, that's all right. And also thanks to some of the guys that were watching earlier. Good friend Blu-ray Reporter, he's been watching and leaving some questions and comments. So thanks to you, man. Thanks to John Steele, who's watching. Leroy Green, I think Sean on Hello Media has been watching a little bit, maybe even Angel Terragon, I'm not sure, and obviously thanks to all who watch this later on, so really appreciate it. As I said, I'll be back doing my own videos in the next couple of weeks, which will be fun. Really looking forward to be coming back, doing some updates and some more top 10 lists videos and stuff like that. So, been a great time, and as I said, endless topic, but we'll be back at some stage. So I'll leave Gary just to close off a little bit as well.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Jase, for this awesome hangout. And yeah, the last minute, but I think that you came up with the perfect topic. So yeah, hopefully everyone enjoyed this hangout. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. And of course, till next time with MovieMan Jase and me, Gary G Reviews.
Take care, guys.